Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 23rd of May. Apologies if you got caught onto the first one I did. There was no sound running, so the sound is definitely running now. Let's get cracking and run through. So first things first, looking at the news and possible impact of that news. We've got, starting off, we've got the French and German, European as a whole, data, the flash manufacturing and services, and then we've got the UK data at 9:30, and at 2:45 we got the US data. This has had less impact than it had previously been having. But however, I'm looking at the US data, and particularly we've been seeing plenty of hawkish notes coming through for the US from US speakers, the Fed speakers. It'll be interesting to see if this sort of backs up their hawkishness, although they have admitted that their numbers may not actually follow, but we'll see. So that's the biggie today, right the way through the day. Let's get on and look at the technical, starting off again with the euro. Say again because I've already run this once. So euro dollar, and well, euro dollar's sitting there still on this downward trajectory. It's got into this sort of consolidation mode here, away from the absolute bottom. Now it's coming down the time frames. You see how choppy it is. The thing from this sort of price action here, you could basically throw a coin. A break through the upper side there could just be a false breakout, and likewise to the bottom. The way that this is not at the bottom and consolidating makes me wonder if it will push to the upside, and if we can break the today's R1, there might be further scope. But consolidated news this morning, I'll step aside of that for now, and we might get a bit of a better direction later. The pound, not too dissimilar on the short term. Let's just go and look at the bigger time frame here. We're still sitting around my pivotal area that I've popped on there, not really doing too much apart from sticking to it. It's like a sticky fly trap at the moment. In fact, this is a price trap. So again, consolidation within the consolidation. It's an each way bet at the moment. Again, no clear direction in terms of the short term. I'm just very wary of fake outs as opposed to proper breakouts. I like breakouts when they're in a sort of consolidated trend and everything's moving well, but this is really chopped yesterday, so very wary of the market as it sits at the moment. What could change this is I guess some really powerful news one way or t'other from these PMI figures coming out this morning. Looking at the did I say PMI? Anyway, you know what I mean. Looking at the US dollar yen here, pushing towards the highs. It's chopping around a lot. It has scope again to pull down to that weekly pivot. It hasn't done it yet. Short term, well, it's in the chop like everything else. The only thing with this is it's in a chop on the higher side, and maybe if the break goes, it will continue through here. What we often see is selling, buy stops put above, those buy stops become targets. But again, could have a fake out just to run in and switch some volume through there. We'll have to wait and see, but the trend is certainly towards that upper side there. Aussie dollar, well, inside day yesterday, it's real consolidation where we're sitting is no different to what we're seeing pretty most other places. Again, it's sort of been running down. The consolidation isn't at the absolute lows here. It's sort of mucky. The way I'm looking at this sort of price, I've seen a wave up here. I've seen 3 waves correcting, and is this a sort of part of a third wave? At the moment, it's not very convincing, not very strong, and very choppy. There is the potential it could push back up, and well, I'm looking at my pivotal area that sits above there, which could still come into play and B, resistance once again. You see it over here, but it goes right the way back this line. Right, okay, that's the Aussie. US dollar CAD. Surprise, surprise, no, it's chopping. Nothing to do with that at the moment. There's no point adding any more comments to these markets when they're like this. The New Zealand dollar's done fared a bit better, but even so, on the 4-hourly at the moment, it's chopping here. It's still within this range. It could stay within this range or just fake out, but it's just not really helping us too much. Euro yen sort of looking like it's got more scope for a move, maybe. We're seeing it, but even then, I'm looking at yesterday and into this morning, largely chop. We had that one big old candle yesterday morning taken up to the double top, and it struggled. So, and there you go. But one thing is, it is struggling around its highs. So maybe again, just like the dollar yen, we could just see this pushing up at some stage. Very similar picture through all the yen pairs, really. Euro pound, it's tight consolidation on the dailies. I don't want to be into this, so I'll leave that alone. Euro Aussie, again similar picture, it's quite solid and tight, not really going anywhere. Euro CAD is one of my favourites in terms of catching onto trades. It too at the moment though is quite consolidated inside buy yesterday. Tight old price action here, not so too close to the lows. It looks like it had a little fake. Well, no, it didn't really. It didn't break the prior lows here. I was just looking to see if it had a bit of a fake to the downside, but it hasn't. So, well, we'll see what it does. Again, the consolidation isn't at the lows; it's away from the lows. So it could well just be pushing ahead. Okay, so not clear at the moment. Other pairs, Euro pound Aussies chopping, pound CAD. Pound CAD's trying at least to do something, but hardly clear from where it is now. It was better yesterday. It looked like it was going to sell off at this point here. It didn't really get too far at all before it turned around completely. So the general picture here is watch out, be patient for the morning, see what happens. We could get some further movement as we go through the day, and it might give us a better opportunity or two on the currency pairs. So nothing this morning to be trading. Quickly looking through into the indices, and before actually let's look at gold. So gold still really is southbound at the moment, and this all sort of ties in with a stronger US dollar. Consolidation around the lows here. This probably looks better than some of the currencies almost. It's actually had its consolidation up here, but it's just dropping southbound. It's already hit the S1, S2 today. Again, not a lot of hope there. Just have a quick look at silver, what's going on, continuing really lower highs through here. Silver still facing the same fate really as to the downside, looking soft. Right, crude, might as well look towards the Brent side of things. It doesn't matter, the price action's pretty much the same, and we're seeing this continuous consolidation on the bigger picture. The 4-hourly, well, it's got some little waves, and it has some little opportunities, but a lot of the opportunities we're seeing quite a lot of chop within. So it's not like it's clean little movements then pulling back. It's whipsawing away, and it will probably be taking out a lot of day traders that are trying to get into some of these moves at the moment. Personally, sitting on my hands there, and I'll continue to do so. My hands are going to be numb by the end of the day at this rate, because it just really is not showing too much anywhere. See Let's just get rid of that line, sorry. CSI 300 then continues in its downward trend, no difference there. The Nikkei has always put a little reversal bar in today, just down a little bit. It popped and dropped by looks of things there, so could be the sign of a bit of a retrace before maybe a continuation, but for now slowed up there. The Nifty 50 continues in the upside, pushing up this morning. Still looks bullish to me there. The Aussie 200 even continues to be consolidated. US 500, the S&Ps, E-minis, again we've got into this consolidated inside bar yesterday. We've seen so many inside bars, markets just not sure where to go, or traders really not sure where to go. There's no real surge, no real belief in any of the markets here. It's holding back. The exception would be the Nasdaq in a minute, but let's look at the Dow again, just really chopping and not going too far. Too far. Then the Nasdaq each day has been, most days, has been given a little bit of sign of hope, but even that yesterday, the movement, the range of these candles are smaller compared to what we'd been seeing. Certainly way back here, it's just consolidation sits there in one form or another. Okay, I've lost the invalid symbols I've got here for some reason. It must be a stream, so apologies. I haven't got the DAX there at the moment, but I have got the different DAX. So let's have a look. It might be because I've got the wrong DAX. Let me have a quick look at. There we go. Wrong DAX on there. That's why. Got the old German 30. This is a German 40. That's what we want to be looking at. So lower highs here on the 4 hourly. So just a bit on the soft side, having broken that 1600 area, been pushing up. It's just come off. It came off yesterday. It looks like it's putting a lower high in, and just looking at a little bit softer at the moment. We could see a continuation there. Really depends on the figures this morning. So service and manufacturing data will give us a bit of a clue maybe to see how it goes. Right, that's that. Let's just have a quick look at crypto. I don't think I did it. I can't remember if I did it yesterday or not. I think I might have. Just saw that movement there. It's in the bigger scheme of things, it's really just continuing to chop. Bitcoin, Ethereum, similar. Just a little break yesterday. We saw a bit of action there yesterday. A little bit of movement. Chainlink. Let's just have a look at that again. Similarish across there. Ripple, XRP. If you only know it like that. Just chopping along here. So all quiet across all of the markets. There's consolidation, which tells us at some stage there's going to be potentially a really lovely move, but for now we've got to be patient, be careful. You can come down the time frames and try and scalp some of these moves, but they're notoriously dangerous in doing so, because after a period of consolidation we get quite a bit of volatility and movement. So at any stage there might be a catalyst just to trigger these off and see yourself underwater quite quickly. Right, on that note, a cheerful note of mine, I'm going to wish you an absolutely great day's trading. As I said, if you haven't already signed up, you can come and join me for a couple of days, 3 days actually, in the trading room, and catch some further stuff. Technically put that. Catch you later. There we go. Sorry,